Well, for those of you who've watched part 1 of my Amazon adventure, welcome back. We're going to carry on with a mixture of video clips and photos and try to put together the second part of what happened on the trip. But first I'm going to introduce you, well, I'm not going to introduce you, one of the other guys is, to the members of the team.
Well, our team is the first one, Humberto Costa. He's the leader of this course here. Well, then you got me, Giuliano Toniolo, right? I am the interpreter and translator and also a survival instructor. Yeah, and then we got Sergeant Jailton. He's an army sergeant. Then we got Marcus. And then you got Luciano Tigre. And then we got our medic, right? Our medic, Cicada. That's it. And I think that's it, right? I got everybody.
Yeah. This is Humberto Costa's base. Costa Survival. They've got chickens and they've got a cockerel that starts crowing at 2 o'clock in the morning, which wakes me up. We'll take a walk down and just have a look at the Costa team accommodation. And this is where we sit and eat and have workshops in the evening.
So much, and then you feel the guilt, so it's like heartbreak.
Yeah.
And this is where they hang out up there. They get preferential accommodation. They have the nice place. Does come with toilets, which is a luxury out here. And this is the general heating playing area. Everybody here just getting ready now because we're moving out and moving on to the next camp, which is 2.5 hours up river. There we are, the ferry's arrived. Looks more like the African Queen. So we weren't going on the African Queen, just the luggage. A slight updated African Queen has just arrived.
Oh, Siqueira, vamos buscar a caixa. Vamos. Por favor.
Pode entrar no já, irmão.
Bom dia, vamos.
Let's go.
Vamos nessa.
So we arrived at our overnight camp. We're here with the riverine people, and I'll show you a little bit of their settlement in a minute. And I'm talking quietly because a lot of the others are still in bed. We spent an evening here doing a little bit of palm weaving. That is to say, palm leaves and weaving them into a lattice, I suppose would be the right word. And we're not sure what the day holds for us today. Something about getting wet in rivers. So we'll see. Right now I've got to go back and get sort of ready for breakfast. What a lovely view to start the day off. Okay, I'm just going to walk you back up to where I was sleeping last night. The whole party is split up into little groups in different shelters, and when I say shelters I'm not talking tents this time, we're talking buildings. Let's take a look. And that's my little pit. Sharing with Colin, who needs to get out of bed now.
Oh, he can get out of bed. Try 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. He's had too good a night's sleep. He don't want to wake up this morning. Onto the boat.
There you go, Alan.
Oh, captain of the ship.
Mana dia lah je lah. Banyak tak mana dia. Boleh katakan mana sini kecil ya.
Training prior to immersion in the Amazon. Recording on, Captain.
With all that rucksack, Kev.
I'm going to give you a special capsule.
Move.
Yes. Tem que equilibrar, agora vai.
You go in now. It's the one-arm technique.
Yeah,
Oh, I did. I was doing one arm half of the
I
time.
held mine with one arm and then just.
Yeah. I think if you get it positioned right, I think you're right. It'd be good.
Outra configuração que é possível é prender nas pernas. Prender nas pernas e... Ok? Água escura, desconhecida, eu evito afundar. E para evitar afundar tem várias técnicas.
This is a popular technique using the gondola. Gondola is the top part of the uniform. Any top part, any shirt like that is called a gondola. And they use that technique when they have to jump off some platform, let's say in this case a boat that's sinking, and you want to jump into the water but you don't know how deep it is or what is down there. So what he does is he closes the neck area here and he holds the bottom and he pulls it frontward as to create this area So as he jumps into the water and he hits the water, the air is going to create this bubble, this air space here, which is going to help you keep afloat.
E eu não pretendo afundar muito.
Okay, so peraí que eu vou traduzir isso aqui. He's saying is, in this case, he's jumping off a higher, taller platform. With one hand, he's protecting his nose, and with the other hand, he's protecting the lower parts there where it should be protected. And he doesn't have to open keep the shirt open because it's going to inflate as soon as he hits the water.
Ok?
Yeah.
E aqui protejo ele.
That prevents him from sinking all the way down as he would
E se eu
have if he
quiser
hadn't
usar
done it.
a gandola para flutuar, eu puxo e assopro.
If he wants to use the jacket now to help him float, he pulls the neck area and blows air inside.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Nice,
Eu entendo.
Yes.
Can I go now?
Marcos, encurta pouquinho aí, por favor, do pescoço. Encurtar pouco.
Centralizing in the.
Moved off to your side.
Yeah. Sargento, ajeita só o dele que tá subindo, ó.
Deixa ele voltar.
Tá.
Eu preciso que seja um por vez, tá?
Tá.
Eu tenho o controle aqui.
Aham.
Actually, it's better when it's on your back,
Yeah.
not on your tummy. It's just like so relaxing that. Here we go. Oh.
Easy.
I think I'll just stay here for the rest of the day. Ah, fuck.
Essa água aqui vai atrapalhar, fazer peso. Então escorre. Aí segura aqui.
With water down.
Aqui, ó. Na extremidade. Tá vendo? Tenha cuidado de fazer isso aqui e. Isso aqui. Violência nas ações.
Strong.
Esvazia.
But he's on vacation. In England, Ok. Eles estão falando que suas férias é uma férias de você sai de férias, mas continua fazendo a mesma coisa que você faz do seu trabalho normal.
Avisa pra ele que 2/3 das minhas férias eu passei aqui na preparação e na execução. Consigo nadar longas distâncias gastando menos energia.
And by using one of those, you can swim for long distances without using that much energy. You need some camouflage underwear that's giving you away for miles. Yeah, purple ass sticking in there. Eu falei pra ele, guys, those of you who haven't hydrated yet, have some water, please.
Hard skill, those little 1%. So it doesn't matter if you don't. It's sitting down there. 30 seconds later.
been upgraded for the next part of the trip. It's not the African Queen no more. But apparently we are going to be on it for 6 hours to get to our next destination.
This is cool.
Yeah, this is more like it.
Alright.
Full person through.
Let's work on the back.
So I've been assured that there is food and possibly alcohol up here in this building here. So let's go.
Leo, those are not ants, those are termites.
They are, aren't they? I didn't realise they were beasts.
Finally found something I like to drink.
Piss of an ox.
Alan's about to go into a violent drunken...
Essa tapioca é bem diferente, hein? Essa tapioca aqui. Different. Tapioca. Isso é bem diferente. Bom, hein?
Bom, né?
Well, it might not have been the most appetising looking meal, but they did come out with something, shall we say, more interesting. And I'm not squeamish, but this was one dish I did pass on. What we're looking at now is a bowl dish full of red ants. And had I videoed it instead of photographing it, you would have seen them wriggling around. And the idea was, you just put your hand in, stuff a few in your mouth, yummy. There was one or two of our tribe did try them, and they did say that they did sting occasionally. Yeah, not for me. There was something involving ants that did have a go at though. Insect repellent, that's the word I'm looking for. So, some natural insect repellent. So if you look at this little clip here, what I'm doing is finding a tree that's got a certain type of ant nest on it. You then simply put your hand on the nest tree and they go berserk. They come running up your hand, and the idea is you get your hands together and you rub them together, and it sort of crushes them up and it causes this stuff to become like an insect repellent. But they're bloody quick. And the problem with quick ants is you don't know where they've gone, but you find out later because some of the little fellas managed to snick up my arm. And I was getting bit for the next half hour. I finally tracked the last one down in my underpants. And we won't go into what it was biting down there. Anyway, that's enough of ants. One of the days we spent learning some of the local crafts, and a couple of those were making fish traps, and we were expected to probably use these later on in part of our training. And another thing was how to make a rucksack out of bamboo. And I say bamboo, it's not really bamboo, don't have bamboo out there. Shall we say the palm leaves? Yeah, get it right, Alan. And I didn't actually take part in this. I was absolutely knackered that day. In fact, I fell asleep in my hammock and they thought I'd got lost in the jungle. They had to send out a search party for me, but I was found asleep in my hammock. And another thing which was fascinating to watch, and again I didn't have the energy to have a go, if you take a look at this, if the locals want to pop up a tree to collect something, this is how they do it. Yeah, I did have one little go and I got a foot off the ground. Yes, going up trees is easy, but maybe at my age I should think about sending somebody else up for me. Finally, at the village there, what the last thing was that we were going to take part in was isolation. And the idea is for you and a partner to be dropped off in the jungle somewhere and try to put into practice all this stuff you've learned over the last, week and a half. So let's take a wander out there and we'll see what happened.
Por ali? Tá. Follow the white straw here, guys. Do not go over the log. Yeah. So all the path, all the way is marked with those leaves, so there's no way you can get lost.
Now if I have a job getting my words out, you'll have to excuse me, because you might think, well, we know Clark is in Amazon, but what's he up to now? And it's something else you might think. Who's his cameraman? Well, he doesn't usually have one, but on this occasion he does, because for once Clarky can't manage on his own. And the man behind the camera, a really nice chap called Matt. We've only just started. We may not be calling each other nice in 3 days' time. But what's happening? Well, we've been dropped off into the deepest jungle, out of the group in pairs, and we basically have to survive out here. Now you're thinking, they're putting their tarp up, they're getting their hammocks out. Well, we thought we were, until they announced this morning, forget all that. You can take a water bottle, a couple of knives and your machete with you, and a couple of other small items, and that's your lot. No food, no bedding, nothing. So right at this minute we've just taken a short break, and Matt and I are trying to build a shelter and a bed, which we will be sharing. And I've had it on good authority that Matt snores like a warthog, so this could be interesting. And we've got 5.5 hours of daylight left. We've got to make a shelter, a bed, we've got to set up a fire that's protected from the rain. So the long and the short of it is, by about 7 o'clock it'll be dark and we'll be buggered, and we probably won't have the energy to eat anything even if somebody offered us any. So that's where we're at the moment. Further updates, should we survive, to come later. Well, we've been at it for 3 hours now, and we've made a little bit of progress. We've got a shelter, and you can't see it yet, but there is a bed, one filling in. And here comes Matt, he's bringing some more ferns which are going to cover the fire area and hopefully prevent the fire from going out. Now I'm going to be honest with you, if we had half a choice we'd be laid in our hammocks now, but seeing as they didn't let us bring our hammocks, we ain't got no choice but to keep going until the camp's sorted. So priority is this: make a shelter for the fire and go start collecting fire and get a fire going. It's hot in here, it's sticky in here, it's full of insects in here, but on the plus side, Matt hasn't started snoring yet. Well, now you might wonder why we've suddenly gone from the jungle to the beach, and no, we're not on a beach holiday. It was because of the Jaguar. Now, I'm not talking leather seats and walnut dash here, no, I'm talking Jaguar, big teeth, that's what I'm talking about. So about 5 o'clock this morning, the instructors came in and pulled everybody out of the jungle area due to the fact that they'd been monitoring the Jaguar's calls all night. We'd heard them, but the first thing we knew about them being near was when we had a visit from one of the instructors early hours of the morning. I asked them how far they were away, and they said maybe 400 metres. So they then monitored the calls more, and they began to think that, was it mating, or did it have, or was it looking for a mate, or did it have some young with it? Either way, the fact that it wasn't moving on from the area, they felt there was a risk to our safety. So they came round and pulled us all out. And so right now it's 5:45 in the morning, and we're just sat around waiting to see what's happening, basically. So yeah, bit of a choice there. We could have stayed and got eaten by the Jaguar, but my compatriot in crime up there, Matt, he's a big fella, and I'm sure if the Jaguar wanted a decent meal, he'd have gone for him while I went for help. But fortunately it didn't come to that, and yeah, I don't really think, faced with the Jaguar, unless I was some type of ninja and I can't get the blade out, I don't think I would have been able to do that much with this, because I'm not a ninja, you see. All I do is I wave this around for show and make out I'm one. Anyway, that's where we're at. We're back at base camp, but there's some people sleeping in our house. They obviously didn't expect us back. So I'm going to go sit with everybody else and wait for the next briefing as to what's happening. So, but while I'm waiting, I'm down on the beach here, enjoying the view, and we've got some clear sky and it's a lovely morning. So yeah, what's to complain about? So what happened? Well, they gave us the option the next night to go back in just for 12 hours as a big group. They reckoned if there was like 10, 12 of us, then we'd probably be safe. The way I looked at it is, if there was 10, 12 of us, that was like a 10 to 11 to 1 chance that the Jaguar wouldn't get me. So I quite like them odds, but I'll be honest, most of us were absolutely knackered after we'd been awake all night, 24 hours on the go in those humid, hot temperatures, and we opted not to go back in. So we spent a bit of time after that learning distress signals, learning how to signal for help if we were stranded in the jungle. And then what remained was to spend an hour or two in the big communal hut with the Tatuya people, I may have pronounced that wrong, where they demonstrated some of their traditional dances and music, And then, surprisingly, they actually gave us all an individual, well, what should we say, a blessing, I suppose. And we were also presented with our own special cup, which they'd carved our name into it, and they'd given us one of their tribal names. Mine, if you read it, it says Sammy, but it's got a hyphen over the A, I think. So I never did actually find out what it means. Probably stands for Yorkshire twat, but there you go. That's just me thinking negative there. Then after that, it was just a simple matter of packing up and moving on. And so, where did we go next? We're going to have a look at a really fascinating phenomenon. I think I'll cut that word out, too difficult to say. Anyway, we went to have a look at where these two rivers join. And I won't explain it all to you. I'll let Giuliano, our interpreter, give you a little bit of talk about that. I think I've picked up most of the information, but the one thing that I did know and was useful was the fact that the river we were on, which was the Negro, was quite saline, I think the term was they used, and consequently the mosquitoes didn't like it much. So on that particular river, mosquitoes weren't a massive problem. They were there, but they weren't a massive problem. So anyway, let's have a look at some of these clips and try and fit in Giuliano trying to explain what it's all about.
In the Black River, only 2 kilometers per hour. The temperature of the Black River is... The Black River temperature is 32 degrees Celsius.
22.
And the Solimões River, 22 degrees Celsius.
Mais gelado, por causa da geleira pisante.
So the Solimões River water is actually cooler than the Black River water.
A cor da água do Solimões já é a mesma cor do rio Amazonas.
O rio Solimões nasce no Peru.
The Solimões River begins in Peru, and it has the same color as the Amazon River.
O Rio Negro nasce na Venezuela.
And the Black River comes from Venezuela. From here to the ocean, to its delta, it's 1,500 kilometers. If you want to go to the tip here to take pictures, you can.
Aí o Rio Negro é no Caribe, 2.400 quilômetros. Até o Caribe.
Until the Caribbean, the Black River runs for 1,400 kilometers.
Tem 9 quilômetros de encontro. Os dois emparegados. 9 quilômetros.
And they run together for 9 kilometers. And this is where the Black River dies. It ends here. And from now on, it's just the Amazon River.
Well, that's it for the little trip up the Amazon. The question is, did I enjoy it? Well, I've actually booked to go back on the same trip next year. So I think it's safe to say that, yeah, it was an experience. But the reason I want to go back is there was too much to learn. And I think going back, I'll be able to pick up a lot more of the information that was out there that would help us in a situation. And what situation is that, you've got to say to yourself? Well, you know, and the million trillion to one chance that I happen to crash in the Amazon in one of those airliners and I'm the only survivor. So based on that, I'm probably wasting my time. But yeah, let's get out there and have some fun.